Hello, it's 1 p.m. Welcome to the Lunch News. My name is Karen Dodu.
I'm Nana Joa Intia Hagen.
Coming up.
But one Olivia Bonus reported to police that in the course of the fight, her 75-year-old uncle Kofi Apasa was shot and had been rushed to the Kaswa Health Post.
Chief Tansi misunderstanding leads to the death of one in Nyanyano Kaswa in the central region. We'll bring you details of the story shortly.
And also coming up.
It's important that I set the example that this vaccine is safe by being the first to have it.
President assures of safety of COVID-19 vaccines as he publicly takes the first shot. Meanwhile,
so far we've approved 2, the Sputnik and the AstraZeneca, and more will be coming by the grace of God.
Vice President assures more vaccines to arrive to vaccinate some 20 million citizens.
And later in this bulletin,
like a finance.
It's not that I don't like it. I just wanted a disadvantage.
Which school did you want to go to?
Like Adonting.
That's the school you chose?
Yeah.
And then you didn't get that one. What grade did you get?
32.
Now which school are you going to?
Asaase something.
the disappointment for some and excitement for others. We bring you the reaction of junior high school graduates as the Ghana Education Service releases school placement list.
And later in African news, Nigerian President Muhammadu Buhari assures to put an end to kidnappings in the country.
All that with sports and more over the next 30 minutes. You're listening to Lunch News on Asaase Radio 99.5 megahertz, bringing you the voice of our land. We're also live on our sister station in Kumasi, 1 to 3 FM in Tamale, on our affiliate Stone City Radio in Ho, and across the globe on Asaase TV Official on YouTube. Now to the details of our stories. President Akufo-Addo has encouraged all Ghanaians to be vaccinated to live a comfortable life in the country. The president said this after he, together with his wife, first took shots of the COVID-19 vaccine this morning. Now, the first couple took the jab at the 37 military hospital as part of efforts to encourage other Ghanaians to embrace the vaccine. The president described the virus as a pestilence and therefore the need for every Ghanaian to disregard the misconceptions about the vaccine.
We've all had a very difficult time this last year. Unfortunately, scientists in the world have now found what could be a permanent antidote to this, I can only call it a pestilence that has affected all of our lives this last year. It's important that I set the example that this vaccine is safe by being the first to have it, so that everybody in Ghana can feel comfortable about taking this vaccine. It is important that everybody, at the end of the day, is vaccinated, and that's our objective.
You heard the President Akufo-Addo. Meanwhile, the Vice President, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, and his wife, Samira Bawumia, also took their shots at the police hospital here in Accra. Dr. Bawumia, after taking a shot, assured Ghanaians that there are more vaccines to arrive in the country. This, he says, is to meet the target of 20 million people to be vaccinated to help combat the disease in the country.
So we are asking all Ghanaians to be cooperative in this process of vaccination. It's going to take some time. Our goal is to immunize about 20 million Ghanaians. That is the target for this year. This is to protect the health of our people in Ghana. It is to protect all of us, protect our economy so that we move forward. So it is in our collective interest that we take this vaccine. So far, we've approved 2, the Sputnik and the AstraZeneca, and more will be coming by the grace of God. So let us all cooperate and get this thing done.
And that was Vice President Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. Now, Asaase News has been speaking to some Ghanaians to find out if this move by the President, his vice, and their spouses will move them to take the vaccine. And here's what they had to say.
How sure are you that he took the vaccine? We were all not there when he took the vaccine. And but even if
I was there when the vice president,
that one was, the media was there. But what if maybe it was water, or maybe a common drug that we all know that he got injected with? We don't know whether it was really the vaccine that he took.
At least I want to be safe. Like, I don't want to live a life full of scared, like going out and doing my rounds. So if this thing will secure me, why not?
I don't go take.
Why say you no go take?
I don't know the medicine. That's why I don't go take.
President take Vice President take
So if he take it, I let him make. I'll make sure say I'll take, but not now.
Why?
Unless I wait small. Different him, different me.
What do you mean by that? Tell me more.
Yeah, it be true. Different him, different me. So unless I wait small. If it's something not doing, I'll take it.
There's a medicine that when I take, I get scratch in my skin. So I don't know whether this thing is like that.
And you have some Ghanaians sharing their views on the vaccines being taken by the President and the Vice President.
Now, in a related development, the Bureau of Public Safety has commended President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo and the COVID-19 management team for working hard to obtain the COVAX-facilitated vaccines to mitigate the impact of the coronavirus in the country. Nonetheless, the Bureau is concerned about some critical issues outstanding that government, the driver of the immunization program, must consider as a matter of urgency to assure public confidence and ensure we achieve the population and herd immunity within the shortest possible time. The Bureau requests the government to strongly consider accelerating efforts to procure the vaccines with higher proven efficacy against the predominant strains in Ghana.
Now, wondering how immune you'll be to the vaccine when you take it? Well, the director of the Ghana Health Service, Dr. Patrick Kumabwaji, has been giving us some indication on that.
And if you have significant number of people protected, you get what we call the herd immunity. And so if I transmit to you and it doesn't work, you can't catch it and you can't transmit it on, it's only a matter of time that we bring the whole spread under control. You don't need to have everybody vaccinated. Example we give is that if there are 10 people are walking in the rain, they don't need 10 umbrellas.
If I get vaccinated, can I stop wearing masks?
It doesn't bring the risk to zero. So let's hold on small.
And that was the director of the Ghana Health Service, Dr. Patrick Kumabwaji, speaking to the host of Town Hall Talk, Kofi Abochi.
And now to other stories. The Central Regional Police are investigating the murder of 75-year-old Kofi Abasa, who died during the installation of a chief in Kaswa Nyanyano in the Central Region. The deceased was hit by a stray bullet and pronounced dead on arrival when taken to the Kaswa Health Center on Sunday afternoon. The installation ceremony turned chaotic when some family members from the three gates that qualified to nominate a candidate for installation kicked against the latest nominee. The situation caused the police to be brought to the scene to contain the melee, with patrol teams being deployed in all corners of the town to curtail any eventuality. Sergeant Isaac Evans Etier is the Deputy Central Regional Public Relations Officer of the Police Service.
On 28th of February 2021, about 7 in the morning, Gomwa Nyanyano District Police received reports that some group of young men from Nyanyano royal family were in the process of installing a new chief after the death of the late chief, but the rest of the royal family were against the installation, and that led to death. Police proceeded to the crime scene and brought the situation under control. But one Olivia Bonus reported to police that in the course of the fight, her 75-year-old uncle, Kofi Abasa, was shot and had been rushed to the Kaswa Health Post for treatment, but was pronounced dead on arrival by the medical doctor. No arrests have been made so far, but the body was conveyed to the police mortuary for preservation and autopsy. Police patrols has been intensified in the area. Investigation is still ongoing. Sergeant Isaac Evans Eti, Deputy PA, Central Region, Ghana Police Service.
And that was the Deputy Public Relations Officer for the Central Regional Police Command, Sergeant Isaac Evans Etier. Let's now get onto the phone lines and speak to our Central Regional Correspondent, Kweku Ba Achemfo. Hello, Kweku. Hello, Kweku.
Yes, I can hear you.
Yes, Kweku. So good afternoon. Well, do you know more about the deceased and whether or not he is related to any of the families?
Yes, so the signal that I've picked so far, that investigation, they point to the fact that indeed the disease is an uncle to the person who was going to be installed, but had to be truncated because the three gates up to the royal family could not agree in terms of his candidacy. So I can confirm that he is an uncle to the yet to be installed chief, and that is Nana Dudu Wiabo.
That's the installation ceremony. Did it come off? Hello, Kweku. Unfortunately, we lost Kweku Ba Achemfo there, but that's our Central Regional Correspondent, Kweku Ba Achemfo.
Well, you're still listening to the Lunch News. Now, the National House of Chiefs has described homosexuality and lesbianism as a taboo, inhumane, and alien. Now, this follows a national discussion of the LGBTQI agenda in the country. The National House of Chiefs issued a statement a while ago, and my colleague Nana Oyankra has joined us in studio with excerpts of this statement. So, Nana, what more does the statement say?
So the Governance, Health and Development Committee of the National House of Chiefs held a meeting on the issue last Friday. And after the meeting, they discussed the LGBTQI and COVID-19 immunization issues that are of national interest. Now, the House said the House wants to state without equivocation that throughout history, nowhere does the Ghanaian culture subscribe to LGBTQI, which is a taboo, inhumane, and alien to our society. In God's wisdom, man and woman were created to fulfill the procreation of humans on earth to satisfy God's will. And it goes on to say that the symbolism for sex marriage was between man and woman. As such, the idea of man marrying a woman is an abomination to our tradition and culture as Ghanaians. So it is pertinent to note that as traditional leaders, and for that matter, custodians of our lands, we will never support, accept, or condone such practices.
Thank you very much, Nana Oyankra. Any more you want to add?
Yeah, so that's on the LGBTQI issue. Right. On the issue of COVID+, yes. On the issue of COVID-19, Nananom are grateful to and commend the government for its rapid response to ensuring the availability of vaccines in the country. We strongly appeal to everybody to avail themselves for the upcoming immunization exercise, which while observing and practicing the necessary protocols. So basically, that's what the National House of Chiefs want people to know.
Okay, thank you very much, Nana Oyankra.
And you're still live here on Asaase Radio. It's the Lunch News. Let's do more stories. And it's either you are walking out of the internet cafe with your head high or with a gloomy face. The reaction of students towards the schools they were placed in. After staying home for months, the 2020 JHS graduates can now resume duty studies after their placements were released. Jamapia visited some internet cafes and spoke to some students who had gone to check their school placements. And here is her report.
Internet cafes always get busy after the West African Examination Council or the Ghana Education Service release examination results or school placements. The 2020 computerized school selection and placement system went live last Sunday, and since then, junior high school graduates have been trooping internet cafes to check their placements. In this regard, Asaase News visited some internet cafes in Accra. While some students are excited for being placed in their dream schools, others are simply disappointed. Walking out of the internet cafe with his placement slip, Samson Lamte looked gloomy. It was obvious all was not well. He did not get his first choice at Disadel College. His aggregates 15 rather gave him his fifth choice.
I got Aquinas.
And you don't like it? Which school did you choose initially?
Well, my first choice, I chose Adisadel. Second choice, Ghana National. Third, Adontin Senior High. The fourth choice was the Technical or Vocational School. I chose Kofoyodo Asektech. The fifth choice, the Compulsory Day School. I chose Aquinas.
So you got your fifth school that you chose, Aquinas. Why? What grade did you get?
15.
15. And you don't like Aquinas?
It's not that I don't like it. I just wanted Adisadel.
So you are disappointed?
Yes.
In who?
Me.
Why?
It's like I could have done better, but I wasted my time.
Samson tells me all hope is not lost, even though he blames himself for not studying hard enough to get a good grade. He's made a decision to work hard for a bright future.
Since I can't change the past, I'm going to work hard towards what I want to be in the future.
I met two other girls, Rebecca and Cecilia. Their grades were not that impressive, so they didn't get any school of their choice. They had to do self-placement. Cecilia chose Achim Suedo SHS through the self-placement system. With little to no knowledge of the school she had chosen, Rebecca chose Esukwakwa Senior High School, but she plans to change it.
Which school did you want to go to? Like Adontain. That's the school you chose? Yeah. And then you didn't get that one? Mm-hmm. What grade did you get? 32. Now which school are you going to?
Asaase something. But Asaase.
Which region is it?
Kranchi.
Oh, Kranchi East. That's OT region.
The new region.
The OT region, like Volta region.
Yeah.
Why I didn't know the school that you are choosing?
You chose, mommy. I told you. You can just choose someone in the Eastern region. You don't.
So are you going to change it?
Yeah, I'm sure I'll change it.
You don't like? I don't want Volta region. So how did you just choose?
No,
they
because
I didn't know that
they didn't add the region. Let's bring the schools for you to choose the one you want.
According to the Ghana Education Service, a total of 494,530 students have been placed in different senior high schools and technical and vocational education and training schools across the country. Reporting for Asaase News, my name is Jaima Apia.
Meanwhile, the National Coordinator of the Computerized School Selection and Placement System, CSSPS, Mark Sasumensa, says there are unlimited opportunities for self-placement for qualified students who could not be automatically placed in senior high schools. This comes after some 151,266 qualified candidates could not be matched with any school of their choice. Speaking on the Asaase Breakfast Show, Mr. Sasumensa encouraged parents and students to act quickly in resolving their issues to ensure that the students are able to report on the reopening date, that's the 10th of March 2021.
The self-placement model is unlimited. You can choose as many as you want. If today you choose it and tomorrow you think that this one you don't like it, you can go online, the same online, to go and change it. The main reason why we are doing that is that yes, last year we had a problem of that. So management decided to ensure that at least we don't cap it. If you did a mistake, you can go and change it to resolve many of the challenges that we have. There were some people maybe who were maybe in Bogatanga, but they choose a school in maybe Accra as a day school. Because you have chosen, you cannot select again. It was giving us a lot of problems. But this time around, we want to actually make sure that those problems are resolved. The students are supposed to go to school on the 10th of March. Therefore, from there to 10th of whatever it will take you to do to enroll your student in the school, you have to.
And that was the National Coordinator of the Computerized School Selection and Placement System, Mark Sasumensa. Meanwhile, the Executive Director of Africa Education Watch, Kofi Asare, also speaking on the matter, advised parents of candidates not to fall victim to scammers who promise to change their schools or get admission for their wards. Mr. Kofi Asare urged candidates to accept any school that they were automatically placed by the CSSPS.
As usual, there are scammers all over promising parents that they can change their school for them. A month ago, during the placement of newly trained teachers, those scammers took up to 2,000 from teachers under the pretext of changing their posting from rural schools to urban schools. And lots of them have lots of reports from across the country about the activities of these scammers who come or who parade as if they are stuck with the genius, but they actually aren't. We are interested in advising parents that no one can change your posting for you once it has been done on the computer. They shouldn't listen to anyone, and then they should just accept the posting that they have, because the system will not post you to a school you did not choose.
And that was the Executive Director of Africa Education Watch, Kofi Asare.
Now, the minority leader, Haruna Idrisu, has chastised the two main political parties, the New Patriotic Party and the National Democratic Congress, for abandoning projects initiated by a previous government prior to the assumption into office, citing an abandoned housing project initiated by former President John Agyekum Kufuor. The minority leader bemoaned the situation, which he described as a contravention to the direct principles of democratic governance. Speaking at an orientation seminar for members of the 8th Parliament, the minority leader said the continuous action by the two main political parties are in breach of Article 35(7) of the 1992 Constitution.
You are a minister. You have taken over office, and both NDC and MPP were guilty of it. President Kufuor started some housing projects in 3 regions of Ghana. Until yesterday, that has not been completed. That offends Article 35(7) of the Constitution of the Directive Principles of State Policy. The politics where NDC initiates projects, when it is out of power, is abandoned by the MPP. When the MPP initiates projects, when it is out of power, is abandoned by the NDC. Is not a good governance practice. That is not a good way to manage the resources of the taxpayer and for our country. The moment the project delays, cost escalates, and that becomes cost to the taxpayer and to the citizen of Ghana.
Meanwhile, Speaker of Parliament Alban Bagbin says variations and development in Ghana's democracy has necessitated a review of the standing orders of the House, despite the inability of previous parliaments to bring the review to finality. Right Honourable Alban Bagbin is confident that a successful review will be implemented under his tenure as Speaker of the House.
The expansion in the frontiers of democracy and good governance worldwide, coupled with changing trends in legislative practices and procedures, necessitated a revision of the current orders. Since 2002, the House has made strenuous efforts to review these orders without success. So it's not only the Right to Information Bill that we took almost 20 years, even the standard orders of the House, taking us the same period. Let me assure members that this time around, the 8th Parliament of the Fourth Republic will bring finality to this process.
And you had a Speaker of Parliament, Right Honourable Alban Bagbin there.
Now, the Ghana Journalists Association has described as scandalous a statement by the Judicial Service, which sought to order the media to immediately pull down from their platform statements and speeches which the judiciary deemed hateful, spiteful, provocative, communication against justices of the Supreme Court, especially those hearing the soon-to-end 2020 election petition. The statements released over the weekend, further according to the Ghana Journalists Association, threatened to take what it called appropriate action to ensure that the media do not abuse the rights of free speech. Reacting to the statement at a press conference a while ago, President of the Ghana Journalists Association, Alpha Mwani, indicated that the Judicial Service should have avoided the impression that the judiciary is instilling fear and promoting a culture of silence which enveloped the country during the period of autocratic misrule. The GJA president admitted that the judiciary is not immune to criticism, but however urged members of the association say must be done in manner that does not bring the administration of justice into disrepute.
It's now time for sport, and Benedicto Usu has the latest.
Yes, good afternoon, guys. Now, Black Starlights coach Karim Zito says they have to change their character if they are to beat Gambia in their semi-final encounter at the ongoing Africa Under-20 Cup of Nations this afternoon. Now, after losing to Gambia in their group stage by 2-1, Coach Zito and his boys must step up and get a revenge, one that will see them reach the finals of the competition.
First and foremost, the character has to change. And this stage is not that the stage I played Gambia in the first match. This is a stage which is more serious than the other one. But if you don't, at that time in point, that stage I play was more serious than the one I'm going to play. You understand? Because if you don't qualify here, you can't play here. And then we've seen a lot of approach from our boys which we were not happy with. And you saw a different attitude of my boys against Cameroon. And if anybody choose from the two, he will say Cameroon was better. You understand me? But at the end of the day, we were able to finish with Cameroon. So definitely what will change, the same players are going to play, the same, but definitely certain things will change. And that depends on me and my players.
So that was Coach Karim Zito speaking there. The game is at exactly 4 p.m. this afternoon. Well, more on the national teams and the Black Stars regroup this morning at the Accra Stadium to continue preparations ahead of this month's Nations Cup qualifier with South Africa and Sao Tome. 25 players trained with head coach Siki Akono Mubarak Wakasu, whose Chinese-based team Jiangsu Sanin has been dissolved, will join the team tomorrow. Elsewhere, Josep Mario Bartomeu, former president of Barcelona, has been arrested by Spanish police for his involvement in the Barca Gate smear campaign scandal during his time as the club's president. Now, the Spanish media said the operation was related to last year's Barca Gate, in which club officials were accused of launching a smear campaign against current and former players who were critical of the club and the then president Bartomeu. Well, away from that, there will be one English Premier League game later tonight at the Goodison Park, where Everton will come up against Southampton. And that's the sports.
Thank you very much, Benedict Owusu. Now, as the month of March each year in Ghana is Independent Month, Asaase Radio brings you a special treat of our rich culture, music and history. The initiative dubbed Asaase Ghana Month Celebration also celebrates women of our land as International Women's Day approaches. The following report throws more light on Asaase Ghana Month Celebration.
This March, Asaase Radio brings you a special way of marking Ghana's independence by celebrating Ghanaian women from then and now. We bring you features, reports, profiles, and much more in our special Independence Month celebration coverage. Asaase Ghana Month celebration will also take you on a captivating trip down memory lane and treat you to beautiful rich Ghanaian music spanning pre-independence to date.
Ghana, we now have freedom.
Also, we take you to places across the length and breadth of the country to have a feel of Ghana's rich history and also Ghanaian culture and tradition, from food, clothing, festivals, and everything that represents us as Ghanaians. From north to south, east to west, Asaase Radio promises to bring you nothing but the best as we celebrate Ghana's Independence Month in style. The Asaase Ghana Month celebration. You don't want to miss this month on Asaase Radio as we celebrate Ghana through our women, our music, and our history. Asaase Radio, the voice of our land.
And that was entertainment brought to you by Andy Isepa. And now to some news elsewhere on the continent. Nigeria's President Muhammadu Buhari has assured citizens that the abduction of over 300 school girls in Janjibi was the last time such an incident would occur. The president said this on Sunday to the delegation he sent to meet with the Zamfara government over the Janjibi incident. The delegation was in Zamfara to commiserate with the state government over the sad incident which occurred on Friday, February 23rd. Aviation Minister Hadi Sirika spoke on behalf of the president.
Yes, indeed, government. It has the powers, the resources, the wherewithal to attack frontally this banditry and events of this nature. Not only in Zamfara or Northwest, the security has just recently been rejigged, and the intent or purpose of that rejiggment will be spelled out in the action that will follow to end this banditry and acts of terrorism. With children that are below the age of 16 and carried out these dastardly acts, they will not be spared, and inshallah, it will be history.
And that was Nigeria's Aviation Minister Hadi Sirika.
And that'll be all for the lunch news at 1. A recap of our headlines. Chieftain's misunderstanding leads to death of one Enyanya Nokaswa in the central region.
President assures of safety of COVID-19 vaccines as he publicly takes the first shot.
And we brought you the stories of junior high school graduates as they check their placements from the Ghana Education Service. Many thanks for your time. There's more news on AsaseRadio.com. My name is Karen Dodu.
I'm Nana Joa Intia Hagen.
Good afternoon.